Hello and welcome to the Easily Excitable podcast. My name is Topham, and with me this week is Dom. Hey man, how's it going?
It's going well, Topham. How are things with you?
Yeah, things are alright. I've just taken my parents' dog on a walk, and I lost some time on my walk because the dog went missing and then turned up with half a rabbit in its mouth.
It went missing? That's what?
It was chasing the rabbit, obviously, or like rummaging through where the rabbits were. So yeah, it brought me back half a rabbit, which I was not best pleased about. And given my lack of experience with dead animals in general, because of being a vegetarian and such, I was not best pleased with said dog.
How much blood?
None. Just half a rabbit that had already been yeah. So I don't think I think it was already dead when she found it.
I was about to say, was the dog clean?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. No, the dog's not got it then. But dog comes back with half a rabbit and it's clean. That's not his kill.
Yeah. So it's I was not best pleased with the fact that it still bought me half a rabbit. I was like, oh, I don't want to deal with this. No, thank you. So that kept my walk very, very lively. But she's trained to go and fetch and retrieve dead animals, so it's kind of expected.
Yeah, I was about to say, if she's trained to do that.
With it. So, yeah. I rarely have to deal with it because it's my parents' dog, but yeah. And she's bought one thing back when I've taken her on a walk, and that was another dead rabbit, but that one was whole. And yeah, so that was an interesting time. I spent my walk listening to podcasts, a podcast in particular as well. I was listening to Hollywood Babylon, which is Kevin Smith and Ralph Garman's podcast, and they were just talking about everything that's going on in the world, and it was interesting. But that was just this week's one. And yeah, that was a good time. Aside from that, what's been going on in the world? What have you been playing? Anything interesting?
I've honestly got back into Skyrim again. I think I said this in the previous Topham chats before, but I got back into Skyrim. I'm still I keep on munching my way through Dark Souls 3, and I'm still struggling with that final DLC. It's rough.
I decided to see the end of Dark Souls 3 this over the weekend or the weekend before, because I'd beaten the boss and I was just like, oh yes, I will go and see what happens at the end of the game now. It's just sitting there.
You haven't even lit the bonfire. You haven't even done the ending.
No, I hadn't done that.
Oh dear.
I killed the boss, but
which ending did you do?
Well, that makes me think that there's more than one ending.
There's three.
There's three, okay. Probably the worst one of the three, because I didn't do the 5 free level ups and those things. I didn't.
That's actually probably the better. You probably actually did the best ending then, to be honest.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
The 5 free level ups is the evil ending.
Oh, okay.
There's the evil ending where you become the Dark Lord. Basically.
Yeah.
And you'll know if you've got that one. So since you did take level ups, you didn't get that one. There's the one where you decide to usurp the fire, which means that you give the firekeeper her eyes, and then you do that ending.
Oh, I think I did that.
So that's kind of the neutral bad. It's a bit bad, but it's not as bad as the Hollow Lord one.
Yeah.
And then there's the other one, which is you just you link the fire and you set on fire, and it's boring. So
that sounds more familiar, but I might have given Horizon a different playthrough that I never finished. I'm not sure. But yeah, then I decided it was a good idea to go and play Bloodborne. So I was like, yay, Bloodborne. Bad ideas.
Bloodborne's fine. No, I've been playing that. I've been playing Players Unknown Battlegrounds as well. I got that a few weeks back with Good Guy Gamers, and we've been playing that a bit. I have one win as a solo.
Nice.
I got third the other day. Not I say the other day, yesterday. I didn't fire a single shot. Nobody fired a shot at me. I got caught out by the fucking circle because it centered in the middle of an open field. To the south bit of the map, there is these massive open areas where it's just shit tons of corn, well, not cornfields, hay and barley sort of fields.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But then on the edges of that, it's just flat land where it's just flat grass and there's nothing. So there was a hill coming down and there was trees, so everyone was flitting between trees. I managed to get into one of those little one person little shacks, which are basically just outhouses.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there with a shotgun from about 20 people to the last 3. I was just sitting there with a shotgun at the door if somebody comes in, I'm gonna blow their fucking head off.
Yeah.
And yeah, I had to run. And I was like, fuck, I've got to get to the circle, otherwise I'm going to die. So I'm just going to go prone, I'm just going to crawl. Like, I think I can make this. Couldn't make it.
Didn't make it.
Didn't make it. And I could hear the other two people, like, having a gunfight. And I was like, fuck. Get to the circle. So,
that's crazy. Yeah, that game seems quite intense.
It's when you get down to, like, especially when you get down to 10, it's really intense. I'm down to 20. Because especially in solo, like, there's different sort of levels. Like, the player count drops depending on what sort of level you go. Because there's solos, there's duos, and there's squads, which is 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And you never get... if you're in a solo, you only get paired with solos. If you're in a duo, you only get paired with duos.
Yeah.
So there's not a case where if you go solo, you end up going against a fucking squad.
Yes.
But it means that in the squad games, normally when the circle starts getting really close in, there's normally only about 8 people left because there's just like 2 squads or 3 squads.
Yeah.
Whereas in solo, when it gets really narrow in, there's still like 30 people left sometimes because everyone will drop in, there'll be 90, about 50 people will die almost instantaneously, and then for like the next 10 minutes or so, like not many people will die. And it's really like shit tons of people die at the start, then like the odd person dies every now and again during the middle bit when the circle's massive.
Yeah.
But then when the circles only when the circles like really close do people start dropping like flies. And yeah, when you get to 10 people as well, like when somebody dies, it said, you know, X amount of people left or whatever. When you get to 10, that number color changes from white to gold. And then when you see that, it's just like, shit.
It's almost like it matters.
Oh, it's so stupid because it doesn't matter at all. Because when you die, it's just like instantly straight back into a server. All right, okay, you're out of the plane, sweet, go. Back to 20 minutes of scavenging for the best weapons to have like a 30-second gunfight and die. Yeah. But it's just such a fun game.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But no, it's also like if you win, you get the in-game credits which you use to buy loot boxes, which give you clothes which don't matter.
Yeah.
There's only one clothing which matters apparently, which is there's this long trench coat, and you can find like all of these in the world. Like you can just loot them when you're running around. Yeah. But if you get the trench coat and you find the Tommy gun, then the Tommy gun has unlimited ammo. But the Tommy gun you can only find inside loot drops. So like every now and again, like a plane will fly overhead and it will drop like a box. Which is either there's 2 ways to go at it, and I'm the latter. There's either you run the fuck away from it, or you run towards it and try to be the first one there. Not to be the first one there to loot it, to set up somewhere on a hill with a sniper rifle looking straight at it.
Yes. Yeah.
Which I think it's only worked for me like twice. But yeah, like there's 5 guns that are only, I think 4 or 5 guns that are only in that loot box. So the chance of you getting a Tommy gun anyway is pretty low.
Yeah.
And the other guns you kind of want more because it's a Tommy gun, an M24, so a light machine gun, and like 3 types of sniper rifle.
Okay.
Or like 2 types of sniper rifle, a 15 times scope, which you can't get anywhere else, and a ghillie suit, which you can't get anywhere else.
Right.
So those are the things you get in the loot drop. But they never end well.
No.
Like I think I've run for about 6 or 7 of them. I've only got 1, and I never got to use the items anyway because the next thing that happened, a car drove past me. I hid behind a rock, looked right, like panned my camera. I just saw a guy like crawling towards me. Like, I was prone. I saw him crawling towards me like 2 feet away, and I went poof. Just took my head off with a shotgun. And I was like, I had an M24. I had a sniper rifle with a 15 times scope, like level 3 body. I was kitted out to the gunnels, and I got killed. Like I was like the 20th or 30th so I was like 20th or something. Right. I was just I didn't even get to the good bit.
Dear. Man. It certainly sounds fun. I've been boring and been playing Minecraft, and
Minecraft's still good.
Steep and just snowboarding down a mountain. I unlocked a new mountain in Alaska, and it was good. And I was like, "This is fun."
Steep looks really fun.
Slopes to go down. Enjoy it.
Steep looks really fun because it's kind of like does it remind you of SSX or not?
Yes, in some aspect, but there's a lot more realism to it.
Yeah, it's a more realistic.
You can go anywhere you want.
See, that's what I like, and I remember me and my brother used to play SSX like way back in the day, like when it was that SSX Tricky? I think it was.
Yeah. There was SSX, SSX Tricky, and then SSX 3, all of which were on PS2.
Yeah, we had Tricky, so SSX 2. But yeah, I remember playing that with my brother and be like, oh, this is cool. But then at the same time, you do flips through the air and suddenly you have a 120-foot lightning trail behind you, and it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But product of its time, you know.
Yes, yeah, it was amplified. It was It was very much video game.
Yeah, you play like all the PS2 classics, Tony Hawk's, SSX, the original Need for Speeds. You know, it's just kind of
Yeah, they were definitely products of their time. And yeah, it showed. Steep is very, very good. I'm having a fantastic time with it. It's just trying to find things to do and keeping entertained. I'm not much a fan of any of the races. I prefer to do like tricks and big jumps. So that and like using the wingsuits. So the races for me is just like, yeah, there's a wingsuit. It's awesome. It's so good.
I can imagine.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. You can't just switch between them like you could on the Xbox 360 version of SSX, because they had a wingsuit as well, and you just like go through, and then you just like be going down a course. You'd make a big jump and then just like wingsuit for a bit, and then back onto the course, and there's like
on a snowboard?
Massive gaps. Yeah, that's how the Xbox 360 version of SSX was.
Snowboard, wingsuit, snowboard.
Yep, exactly. Which was awesome. That game was so good. I might play it again soon. I've got it. I'm sure I've got it on my Xbox. It was free on Games for Gold as well, so I know I've got it like on there. So I'm probably gonna download it on my Xbox. I might already have it downloaded on my Xbox One, just because I do.
Again, products of their time, like games like it was like the Evolution, like that and Skate, so good.
Yes, yeah.
The amount of, I mean, not really the main mode, but the amount of time I spent in Hall of Meat on Skate.
Yeah.
So I was so good at it.
It was
so much fun.
Ridiculous. Yeah. So much fun. I saw Wonder Woman over the weekend, which is
How is it? I haven't seen it yet.
I think it's all right. It's there's something I disagree with in the film, but that's just like an aside, really. The film itself is good. I enjoyed it. I don't know. It just does Wonder Woman's origin story, and I thought it was very interesting. I know really nothing about Wonder Woman at all, and I thought it was an enjoyable film.
Well, that's good, because the DC films have struggled. Mm-hmm. Like the original like the most recent reboot of Superman, which was still like fucking 2012, whenever that was.
Yeah, was that Man of Steel?
No, not Man of Steel. Okay. Yeah, Man of Steel. Yeah, like with Zod and that, and some maybe I had problems with that. I thought it was all right. Uh-huh. I didn't think it was a bad movie, but then like Batman vs Superman was like, that was kind of rough. The Wonder Woman's apparently getting pretty decent reviews. I want Justice League to be good, but I can't see it being good. They're doing the team up thing too soon, and they haven't introduced the characters enough, so they're going to end up either skipping over people's origin stories because they assume or it's going to be 99% an origin story, then the last 1% of the film or 10% of the film is going to be suddenly the big bad comes out of his thing, and they've known it's coming, and then there's one massive fight scene. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely don't know enough about DC. I actually don't know much about comic books, and I don't really know. I haven't seen any of the DC films apart from the Batman ones that Christopher Nolan did. So
because they're not even part of this universe now.
No,
so,
they're not.
They've been in all, and I quite like them. I thought they were pretty good.
I thought they were good. I enjoyed them, but that's the only Batman I really know. So I'm just I just don't know enough comic book stuff, which is a shocking revelation when I'm just I actually don't know something about something I'm supposed to know quite a bit about.
I didn't. To be fair, I didn't know a lot about comic books until about a year or so ago. But there's a great channel on YouTube called Comic Storian.
Uh-huh.
who they're going to be at RTX actually, so I'm going to try and see if I can get along to one of if they have a panel, or at least just go along to the booth and have a chat to them. But basically, it's they take comic books and they read it back, like they read the stories to you essentially. But it's not like panel to panel.
Yeah.
Like they make it really interesting and they put on good. Like it's just one guy, but he puts on like good voices and there's like a good backing track and he explains everything like really cinematically.
Oh, cool.
And it's really good to listen to because he covers both Marvel and DC. Admittedly, I watch the DC stuff a lot more than I watch the Marvel stuff.
Okay.
But it's also like it's some of it, like I'd say it's a bit hit and miss, but most of it you can listen to in the background, but some of it you do have to kind of watch at the same time.
Yeah.
But I've listened to some of it as like podcasty stuff, and yeah, the amount of I knew a bit about DC Universe before, but the amount I know now is a bit stupid.
Okay. Fair enough.
But no, it's really good because it's all like the most recent storylines as well, and like especially some of the Batman stuff in like most recent continuity is really messed up, like really good, really in a good way. But anything to do with the Joker, like the Joker in comic books, holy shit! Like they take him a very different way than they do in like the movies and stuff. Because they wouldn't be able to.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah, it is really good.
I think I'll give that a checking out. Should I need to learn more about comic books? Aha.
It's just for a good listen, to be honest. But yeah.
I'm just about to get into watching Matt Colville's videos on how to DM or running the game.
Oh god, there's so many of them. Yeah, running the game is good. The best ones I find to listen to for him, like the running the game one's great, but also these campaign diaries are really fun.
Yeah.
Because you don't. Like, you follow half of the story, but then he explains, like, right, here's what happened last time. And he's a really fucking good storyteller, that guy.
Yeah.
But then he's also,
does
like...
he work for? I can't remember.
Turtle Rock Studios, so the guys who did Evolve. Okay.
Yeah.
Which, unfortunately... I really like that game.
Yeah.
I really like that game. And then they made it free to play, and, like, it watered down, and I saw where they were going, and it was still okay, and then they got all their funding pulled, because... Of course they did, because it wasn't making any money. And then they unfortunately left it in such a gulch because they just before it got pulled, they introduced a new map, which is like the most cookie cutter map ever. Yeah. And they also introduced a new monster, so this new monster is now just so overpowered.
Yeah.
That there's no point playing anymore because like the balance is broken because they weren't iterating. Because they made it free to play, they were just like chucking shit at the wall and seeing what would stick.
Yeah.
So they were going like proper intense with some of the stuff, and then like, yeah, they eventually like, just out of the blue, guys, Evolve's been pulled for funding. We can't do this anymore, and then they had to leave it in a very sort of very broken state. So it's unfortunate. Yeah, it's really unfortunate. But yeah, no.
Anyway,
that's to the side. But
we went on like a segue of a segue.
Segue over segue. But no, Matt Koval's, he's the lead writer, I believe, at Turtle Rock.
Yeah.
Or at least he's one of the lead writers. Yeah, no. He's the good stuff. Anyway, back to what I was saying originally. His campaign diaries are good because he always talks about like what's going on and like it gives you some really good ideas and it shows how to play a high magic campaign without making it broken, which is really good. Like at one point he describes the heroes finding a single, like they basically find a treasure hoard, but they're locked inside this treasure hoard and the door's going to get beaten down. So they only have time to identify one of the items they have.
Okay.
So they choose, they identify something and it's like, oh, okay, sweet. And they find a white arrow, which they can't identify, and just like, they're against this like massive boss who's like taking out like 3 of them, like he's doing like shit tons of damage. So the ranger fires this arrow, like hits, and then Matt describes it. He's like, yeah, that was an arrow of orc slaying. So roll your damage and then roll an additional 4d12 on top of that.
Nice.
And it's just like, it's so amazing. But he talks about like how he runs things and also when stuff goes wrong. And like every other campaign diary, he comes in and he's like, yep. Got wrong last week. This went wrong, and he's been DMing for like 30-something years.
Yes, he said he started playing when he was like 15.
Yeah, he literally Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, which is like 2nd edition.
Yeah,
and there's been like there's like second edition, there's like 2.5, there's 3, there's 3.5, there's 4, there's Pathfinder, and then there's 5th edition. And like he's run, I think he's never mentioned Pathfinder specifically, but I know he's run like almost everything else.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's like recently he was saying one of the more recent campaign diaries, or a few ones back, so I lost track of it. And he's talking about the fact he merged 2 of his DM groups together, and it just went horribly wrong. It just didn't happen. So what ended up happening, he was like, right, okay, here's your excuse for your characters to fuck off, and here are all your new characters because you made new characters. And it's interesting because all the games I've played in, we still haven't had a character death, because I feel that the DMs I've been playing with are too afraid to kill the characters we have.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, I don't know, I kind of, not that I want any of my characters to die, but at the same time, I would relish the opportunities to make a new character. You know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's just a different way of playing. Like, I watched Critical Role, I watched a lot of that, and like, one character died at some point, but they always get like brought back. Or like most of the time they get brought back.
Yeah.
Should have prefaced that with spoilers. But yeah, no, they always get like brought back, or like something happens. So none of the current cast have needed to, and I'll preface this by saying I haven't watched all of it, so it's going to be fucking wrong. None of the current cast have had to replace their characters yet. And they're like, you know, I'm like episode 60 something in, and each episode's like 3 hours long, like proper long campaign sessions. They're like level 14, 15 at this point, and they haven't lost a character yet. It's just like,
that's crazy. Yeah.
They've had some close calls, but yeah.
Actually, I've just completed a campaign. Why don't we talk about that? Because
I was waiting for you to segue into this. Come on.
Man, I was going to talk about other things anyway. I've just completed a campaign, and in that campaign, 3 of the characters that we were playing died. Yeah, that's right. 3 of the characters.
You lost your first one.
Oh no, our whole party died. So 4 characters died plus 3. So in total, 7 characters in the game.
Did you have a TPK?
Plus,
a total party kill?
Yeah.
Is that how it ended?
No, that happened ages ago.
Oh, okay.
That happened ages ago when I was playing my Dragonborn cleric, and then that's when I brought in my dwarf fighter.
Oh yeah, no, I remember this. You was telling me this a while ago. Yeah.
And then my dwarf fighter got turned into a jelly, which we fixed. Don't worry, it eventually got fixed.
Oh, so we didn't die?
No, still alive. Then I played a Kenku rogue for 2 sessions and got that killed. That was my fault. That's totally my fault. And I got the guy I was playing with, like, because we came as a pair of like rogues. I accidentally got him killed, so I was like, I'll sacrifice my character because we were both going to be absolutely ludicrous playing together. And character-wise, it would have made sense because there was darkness cast in the room. So I didn't know, and I went out to catch breath and then went back in and just died. And then then I made a new character, and then one of the other characters died on our way as well. Just got caught by roper. No, I don't think it was a roper, but it was near lava and got dragged in. And suffered massively and didn't make it out.
Might have been a roper. It was like it was a sentient like stalagmite.
Yes, I think that's what it was.
Yeah, that's a roper.
And it was lava. So
yeah,
I actually wasn't there for that session, so I just got told. So I just have to rely on remembering what I got told about a session I wasn't at. But yeah, then we managed to just keep going through the campaign. We kind of abridged the ending because one of the guys that we're playing with is moving away. I can't remember what country he's moving to, but I think it's Vietnam.
Right.
And so we needed to finish the campaign, and we only had essentially we had 2 sessions left to do, but we only had 1 session's worth of time left to play. So we just decided to like skip a little bit and play the final battle, and then like resolve everything after that. Like one of the characters outright died in the session, the final session. We got a massive diamond, so we used Revivify and brought him back to life. So we managed to save that, and then the 2 jelly characters, we just basically went back to a city and then used Remove Curse on them, and brought them back, and then that was us resolving that campaign. Like the whole campaign was good. It was good fun. But it didn't leave like an open end for us to really carry on the characters. We could, and the DM could come up with something, but we felt like we'd kind of reached the end of that world, and we'd be limited unless we were to travel to new lands. But we're already like level 11, so where do you start with level 11 if you're not already known across the land a little bit, and what challenges do you really face? So we thought we might as well start again. And so, yeah, we kind of finished the campaign, and we were just like, yeah, it was a good campaign, but we want new adventures. So I decided I would take up the mantle and try my hand at DMing. And I have started coming up with myself a one-shot campaign that I'm going to have ran by the time this podcast comes out. However, I don't have all the details nailed down just yet.
Don't worry. I've run like, how many have I run now? Well, I started running a campaign, and that only lasted about 4 sessions, and then I decided to can it. But I run 2 one-shots at this point, so I'm not an old hand, but
yeah.
The thing is, you won't. I normally do my best prep like a few hours before, like as long as you know before, like as long as you know like the day before what the encounters are going to be.
That's the bit I actually haven't got planned yet. So that's what I'm doing tonight. I'm planning.
My advice: no more than 2 combat encounters.
Nah, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah. All right. Suit yourself. Depends on how long you want this shit to go for.
I mean, they're going to be simple combat encounters, and it shouldn't be too bad. There's only going to be 3 or 4 of us playing at level 3, so I'm going to keep the combat. Aim to keep the combat short as well. I actually need to design all the characters that we're going to use as well. I've got a bit of work to do, and the dungeon layout that they're going to be going through. So I've got a bit of work to do tonight.
Obviously, you're designing the characters for them.
Yeah, just so that they can pick up and play, so we don't need to faff around with anything. So
well, a great. I'm going to be trying this for my next one shot for building characters, because I like people to build their own characters.
Yeah.
And this is the way Matt Colville does it, actually. Coming back to that.
Yeah.
Quick way to make characters. Roll your stats, 4d6, and do them in order. So your first one's your strength, second one's your dex, third one's your con, intelligence, wisdom, charisma. Make sure you have over 116. And then make a character choose your class from there.
Okay.
And you'll end up like especially if it's for one shot, because it won't matter, and it'll force people to choose characters or choose classes they wouldn't necessarily be very familiar with.
Yeah, that's one of the things. Like, yeah, I want to have them choose from these certain classes, because I know they won't if they don't. So, because some people are gonna pick a certain style of character, so I just want to, because our last campaign started like the mid break, once our total party wipe, just after that, when we all came back, and we were just like, okay, let's go. 3 of us were playing fighters, and it's just like, oh, we shouldn't be given our independence to choose characters, because otherwise we're going to stack up on top of each other and not be useful.
That works. No, it works fine.
It works fine. Yeah. We didn't have a healer. That was wonderful.
Yeah, no, not having a healer is rough. I mean, to be fair, you either want a druid, and you want a secondary healer.
Yeah.
2 of them.
I'm having a druid and a cleric as sheets,
you want one.
So
or you want one cleric, because one cleric can prop up the party on their own in terms of healing.
Yeah.
And again, it depends on what the party is. If you've got a proper balanced party, you've got a barbarian at the front, you've got a wizard at the back, and you've got a cleric in the middle. You can hold off pretty much anything.
Yeah. There's not going to be one of the bad guys is going to be a barbarian. I know that much. One of the final bosses. But yeah, I've kind of got a really decent story idea. I've written all the story idea down. The problem is I haven't done any of the other work that needs to be done. So,
well, if you got the story, then you got the bad guy.
Yes, I did have a bad guy, and then I looked at its abilities, because it was going to be a bearded devil, which has an attack with its hand. It's a glaive attack, and it has snakes as a beard.
Yeah, that
and
one.
They get to attack. And the problem is, it either poisons them if it succeeds, or I want to say paralyzes them for a minute if they.
Yeah, but it's after every. If it's after every turn they get a saving throw.
Yes.
And plus, if you have a cleric in the party, they can cast stuff or if you have a paladin, they can use 5 of their burning hands to get rid of that paralysis.
Yeah, I was thinking like it was going to be a bit too difficult for maybe 3 because one of the guys that's playing might not be playing because he wants to go and ride his motorcycle.
So were you just going to chuck the one thing at him?
No, there's going to be a barbarian as well.
Yeah, that's the thing. So Bearded Devil it's a challenge rating 3.
It would be hard enough on their own.
Yeah, well, general rule of thumb is the challenge rating
is
like
for 4.
the number.
Yeah.
One challenge rating monster of whatever party you have. So you got 4 level 3s or 3 level 3s. A third level will be enough for them to take. They'll be able to kill it. It won't threaten them massively, but it could potentially, depending on what you got, of course. Because I mean, Bearded Devil is not too bad because it doesn't do like a shit. What I find normally kills people when you put like something really high level is that if it does shit tons of damage, Bearded Devil only does like a D10 or a D8.
Yeah.
So it's not like.
The problem is then you've got like the poison,
2 attacks,
paralysis.
so
yeah.
I know, it depends on what you play against. Obviously, against a sorcerer, a wizard, and a warlock, it's gonna fucking clean house. But as long as you've got somebody with some decent armor and some decent health on him, then you might be alright.
Oh, you also need silvered weapons to kill it.
Yeah,
because it has damage resistance if you don't have silvered weapons. So I need to figure out how to get. Well,
silver or magic.
Yes. Yeah.
Silvered.
So I was thinking.
Silvered, what you can do is...
I'm taking all their weapons away before they even start, so they're going to have to find them, and they're going to be in the place.
Silvered, what you can do is if you give the party if one of your choices for a party is a wizard who's a transmuter, transmuters can their second level ability, like their base ability, is that they can concentrate on an item for a minute and transform it into another substance, and listed on that substance is silver. So they can basically make a silvered weapon out of another weapon, but they make it a silvered weapon. It only lasts for an hour, and they have to keep concentration on it like a spell.
Right.
But they can do that. But then again, that'll necessitate you making sure that they have that transmuter wizard and making sure that they know they can do that, and they give it to one person.
I think they're going to find them in a chest that is not going to be locked, and I'm going to make them.
Oh, is that the key thing you've been telling me about before?
I don't know if I'm going to put that in or not. I haven't decided. I don't know. There's a lot of things that I'm still to decide, and I have 2 evenings to plan it.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, it should be good. I'm looking forward to it. I've already written down a list of creatures that I want to turn up. So, hopefully it'll be.
Well, I mean, if you're checking Bearded Devils at them, you might as well keep thematic.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
What are they using to kill devils? Are lemurs devils? Yeah, lemurs.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Lemurs are great.
Yeah, that's what I was going to.
They're horrifying.
Yeah.
They are absolutely horrifying.
Yep.
Because they can just scream noiselessly. It's so bad.
Yeah.
And they don't die. They don't die either. Like, I know in the monster manual it talks about the fact they come back after so many days.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this and I was like, well, what if we just change that to minutes? And so the party kills them and they're raiding the room or something, and then suddenly
they come back.
They're forming up into their they're such messed up creatures as well.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
They're just clay abominations of flesh. And,
Yeah. So,
yeah. I need to chuck them out of parties. So I've got my next one shot done, ready to go for a party. But then I've got 2 other one shots in my head. One of them's a murder mystery, and another one's to do with lemurs and demons and stuff.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah, this one I've got ready to go is just goblins from Rise Hill. It's a first level thing, so I'm introducing Vic to it, and it's just right, we're just gonna run through with some first level characters. This is really easy. Go into a tomb, rescue the girl, kill the goblins. Might be something at the end. You never know. All right.
Nice.
Simple stuff.
Nice. I need to think of more ideas, but I was considering changing everything to goblins, and then I was just like, no, why would I ruin the theme that I've been working on?
For third level, they'll wipe goblins.
Yeah, I know.
Unless you swarm them. Because
it's not worth it for me. I think I'm just going to stick with what I've got and then just try and figure out some things thematically. It's dark, and there's going to be spiders and snakes coming towards them anyway, so just generic things, and then throw a random giant spider or giant snake at them. I don't know if giant snake's actually too strong. It might be a CR4. I'm not sure.
Nope, CR2.
CR2.
Giant constrictor says CR2 because I know that because our druid in DG's campaign can now turn into one. He's only sixth level, so you know he's a Circle of the Moon.
Yeah.
That was a game last time we played that. Jesus, we got attacked by something. It's like a 2nd edition monster, and DG like pulled this thing, and it's basically, imagine a mimic. Well, it's basically a mimic, but instead of being a chest, it's a tree stump with a bunny on it.
Oh.
And then when you interact with the bunny, all like the, in brackets, roots of the tree like come up and just like grab you and stuff. That sounds awesome. It's a really fucked up thing.
Awesome.
And yeah, just completely scared the shit out of us.
Nice.
Also, she chucks citrus demons at us, which are literally sentient fruit.
Awesome.
That sucked because every time I punched one, it hit me with acid.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. Oh, that's terrible. I have this terrible idea, like, you know how like you get to like describe things, and they're gonna get helped by Barbarian at the beginning, and he's gonna ride up on his horse, and I'm going to say to them, like, as a description of this Barbarian, that instead of him looking like a normal person riding a horse, he's going to look caricaturely too big for the horse, like he's riding a tiny horse along to come and rescue you, and that's only how you're going to remember it. That's not the actual situation. just so that they can be like,
just make him a Goliath and then just put him on a pony.
Yeah,
like put him on a Shetland pony.
Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of like how I want to do some of my descriptions. But yeah, I've got that to go and work on. Oh, it's RTX soon. I'm very excited.
Yeah, man. 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Yeah.
By the time this comes out, it'll be 3 weeks.
I will be in the States in 3 weeks for sure. That will actually be the day I'm flying. Ooh, awesome.
Are you going? Wait, you going early? Are you?
Yeah, I'm flying over to Rachel's on the Saturday before. So.
Oh, okay. Sweet.
Yeah, then I'll be there for like.
When you appearing
Thursday.
in Austin?
We turn up on the Thursday.
Okay.
And then Thursday, then there's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, fly back on Monday, and then I'm staying around for another week, and yeah, just chilling out. It's gonna be a good time.
Wednesday flight. It's not actually a bad flight either. It's like a 10 to 11 flight from Manchester. So
oh, nice.
It's pretty reasonable time actually. I can get up about 5 in the morning and be over there quite easily.
Oh, nice. So. My flights are always to Atlanta at like 4 p.m. So I have like the nicest days.
Oh, really?
Landing
4 p.m.
Landing Atlanta at like 9 p.m. local time, and it's like 2 a.m. UK time, and then go to bed at like 11 o'clock local time. It's like 4 a.m. here time, and I'm just like, oh, I'm fixed, yay!
I figured out. I was figuring this out for when I get there.
Mm-hmm.
By the time we all meet up, because me, Dunk, and Dan are flying over on that flight.
Oh, nice.
All those 2 flights, and Kel and Vic are flying over on a different flight, obviously from where they're at, from Baltimore. Yeah. By the time Kel and Vic arrive and meet with us, it's going to be about, I don't know, 10 o'clock local time.
Mm-hmm.
So with the time difference, essentially, I'll have been up from midnight.
Yeah.
So I have to get up at 5 in the morning. So it's basically midnight until about 10, 11 at night. So I'm going to be like 23 hours up at that point.
Yeah.
I'm going to struggle.
Yeah, man.
Like, I'm going to have to try and like get a nap on the first flight over there or something. Because otherwise I'm going to be like screwed.
Yeah.
For Thursday.
Yeah.
It'll be fine though. The only thing that has to happen Thursday is they need to go get RTX tickets. It's fine. Just go pick them up.
Yeah, go pick those up. Go pick your pass up. And yeah, should be a good time. I need to figure out with everyone what I'm doing at RTX because I need to see a bunch of people. So yeah.
Surprise. Did you go last year or not?
Yeah,
I can't remember.
Yeah,
you did. Yeah, thought so.
Yeah, it was a good time.
I kind of really want them to tell us what the panels are though. It's only 3 weeks, guys.
Yeah.
Kind of a bit fine, aren't you?
I haven't seen any like even requests for like community panels or anything.
They haven't put requests out. They've put on the RTX
Event site.
on the event website, you could apply for panels. They had opened them up a few months ago, but they didn't do it. So like last few years, it's always been like, community panels, big thing. This year they haven't bothered doing that sort of announcement. They've just been like, oh, here it is. They've got like they got a pretty substantial list of people who are coming to RTX.
Yeah.
Like I know comic historians going, and there's shit tons of people. It's still sponsored by Pizza Hut, I believe. Like nice. They've got like loads and loads of people coming. I can't even remember because I didn't really take a good look at the list.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was looking at stuff for like just because I was really bored one day basically, and I got browsing through the website. I was looking at like how much it would cost to get sponsored, or how much it would cost to put your name on something, or get mentioned a panel or something like that. And I was just like, oh god, like $10,000 for a single panel mention or one of the main panels.
Oh, that's ludicrous.
Holy fuck!
Yeah, that's ludicrous.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it was like, what was it? It was I think it was 5,000. It's obviously meant for businesses. It was like $5,000 to get your trailer put up. You know, they have like the loops of trailers, to get it into that loop.
Right.
It's like $5,000 for the weekend. And I was like, actually, that one's not too bad.
That's not bad.
In my opinion.
Like in comparison to
yeah, comparatively, you'd have thought it'd be the other way around, but.
Oh well. Cool. Well, there's plenty coming up. And E3 is going on this week, so there'll be
and there's all the stuff coming out of that, which we're still waiting for the dust to settle on that stuff because they've extended it for. I thought it was just a weekend thing. Now it's apparently a week. It's like 5-6 days.
Yeah, with public access as well. So like
public access
has been open before. So
public access is cool. Don't get me wrong, but guys, you do not need 5 days.
No, and you don't need
Bloody
people
hell.
starting beforehand anyway.
Nintendo, woo! Because fuck you. That's why.
Yeah.
I don't even know what they announced this year. It can't be anything good because I haven't heard a damn thing. So.
No, I'm sure.
I think it was a Pokemon remake.
I think it's it's like Black 2 and White 2 to Black and White is what's coming out for Sun and Moon. Like
it's like Sun. It's
Ultra
like
Sun or something like that.
Yeah, I saw a picture somewhere. It was like Ultra Sun and Sparkling Moon or some shit.
Something I don't know. I wasn't paying enough attention. Yeah, well, cool. Dom, where can we find you across the internet?
You can find me at McDom023k on YouTube.
Cool.
You can find me at McDom on Rooster Teeth, McDom on Steam, and at McDom023k on Twitter.
Awesome. I can be found across the internet at Destroy Topham at Etherfar. Thank you everyone for listening. Thank you, Dom, for being my guest this week.
It's a pleasure, Topham. Oh, shitting hell, we've been going 45 minutes.
Yeah, totally. And thank you everyone for listening. Have an exciting week. Goodbye.
Toodles.